So I start off with the sketch for Riley. I think the sketch turned out very well, but at the beginning you could definitely see I was struggling a bit, especially with the mouth and the eyes, which were really hard for me to make for some reason. But yeah, I started sketching her, and the first thing that I wanted to change about her character design, and mainly the main thing I'd say, is her hair. Like, I know she plays hockey, she has to have her hair tied. Also, they wanted to change her look up a bit, and she's a teenager, and teenagers wear their hair tied up. I don't think that makes that much sense because, like, when you're around Riley's age, what I've seen is that a lot of girls, they actually let their hair down when they become like teenagers. So I think it's really weird to have her like wear her hair up on the second movie. Like, I don't understand on the first movie where she's 11, she's a preteen, she's just starting to style her hair on her own, or maybe her mom still does her hair. Yeah, maybe there it's more understandable, but like, I don't know, I just feel like teenagers, like especially nowadays, teenagers, they wear their hair down. So that's what I really wanted for her design. So I decided to let her hair down, let her express herself a bit more through her clothing and through her hair choice. And I still kept the bangs, so it still looked like her, and it still looked like a teenager who cut her bangs in the middle of the night and they turned out awful. But they don't look that bad, okay guys? They don't look that bad. I also decided to add a small little hair clip to kind of like keep her hair in, and I thought it looked super cute. I tried to keep her hoodie mostly the same, but I changed some stuff up about it, definitely, because I think when she's starting to get to her teenage years, a lot of people, they don't focus that much on fashion, but I think when you start becoming a teenager, you start thinking more about how you look and how you present yourself. And I think just a plain blue hoodie was a bit of a bummer of a choice for it, because I would have loved to see something a bit more creative. I guess you could say something, I don't know. Now we're starting with the liner. As I said before, the hoodie, I really wanted it to be like puppy and big and nice and more stylish, I guess you could say, even though it's still a hoodie. So yeah, I started out with the liner. With the liner, always thick lines on the outside, thinner lines on the inside. I think the liner really makes the drawing shine, and she looks really pretty while I'm doing the liner, and I think it's probably my favorite stage of the drawing. I normally don't really like doing liner, but I think this liner turned out so good. So for her facial expression especially, I think I chose a really cute expression where she's kind of like shocked and she's kind of like posing for a camera, which is why I brought out a common pose that teenagers normally do, where they do like the peace sign. So I think it looks really cute on her, and she looks really pretty doing it, and it's something that I see a teenager definitely doing. So yeah, I feel like it's like when you get a camera put on you and they say like smile for the picture, like we're gonna take a picture of you, and you're kind of like shocked and you try to strike a pose in a moment. That's what I tried to go for. For her hair, I also tried to make it a bit more wavy, because I feel like especially teenagers nowadays, they are like curling their hair and everything. And I know she has straight hair and she looks lovely with straight hair. I actually love her hair in the first movie, which is why I got so inspired to do the hair this way in this movie. But yeah, in this movie you can see that her hair is a lot longer, so that's why I put it a bit longer than in the original movie where her hair was a lot shorter. And when you have longer hair, it tends to wave up a bit, or like start a little wavy pattern, something like that. Plus, another option is that you could just kind of like curl it yourself. And considering there's a lot of character expression in Riley, and then she tries to express herself through her hair by adding the red stripe and everything, I think it's definitely possible that another way would be to wave up her hair, curl up her hair, so that it looks nice and cute. You can kind of notice a pattern with me.
I wanted a fashionable Riley, okay?
I love that I made her hoodie really big and puffy, and I added actually some star details on the little bags. I think the baggy hoodies are really such a look. They look so lovely, and I think it would look lovely on Riley, and she looks like really cute wearing one of them. I'm thinking about it. I would have loved to done an expression where you could see her smile, so I could include her braces. Like, let me know if you guys want more like drawings of her, because I would love to do that. Like, I think her smile with her braces looks really cute, and I'd love to see how it would look on my style. I've also never done braces in drawing, so yeah, that's a thing. I feel like I made Riley look a lot more grown, I guess, a little bit. Like, I don't know, okay? I made her a lot more stylish. That is definitely a thing. I feel like she had more style in the original movie than in this one, which is weird because you would expect for style to develop the more you grow up and not to go backwards. But I guess that's how they chose with this movie. And I know there's definitely some people that when they're like teenagers, they make questionable decisions considering their style. But like, I feel like with her, they didn't make many decisions at all. It's just like she kind of didn't think about it. And I guess that's kind of in her character because she's more focused on sports and her friends and everything. She's not really focused on fashion and stuff like that. But like, come on. You could have done something better with her, okay? You could have done something. I was kind of struggling with the hair as well to do the liner, but we got that together, okay? And I think the hair looks lovely, as I've mentioned many times before. Her eyes look lovely, and I think everything about this liner is just coming together and it's popping through. Starting out with the shading, you know that I always use that purple color. I think it looks so great in every single shading drawing thingy I do. I think it just looks so super nice. It makes it kind of look like warm and cool at the same time. I don't know, okay? There's just something about that shading that just, in my mind, it's just so good. Oh wait, did I spoil the shading? Oh my goodness. Oh no, actually we're in the color. Okay, so we're in the color, and for the colors I try to go for a pastel color scheme. I try to make it like nice and cute and pastel. For her hair color, I kind of struggled a little bit because her hair is a very light blonde, but it's still like a dirty blonde. I feel like they made her hair lighter, which is weird because when you grow up, your hair gets darker, I think. I think that's what happens with most people. Her hair was a lot darker in the original movie that I remember, but that's probably just a change in the animation quality, I guess. Maybe that's why her hair is a lot lighter. I also seen the animations nowadays, they look a lot more cartoony. They kind of left that realistic shading back, so I think that's why the hair is not as texturized, therefore cannot include that many different like little shades of blonde and brown. So yeah, I think that's why her hair is a complicated color now. It's more blonde than brown, how it was in the original movie. But yeah, I started just coloring everything in, and I colored her hoodie like a similar bluish tone from the original movie, just a tad bit. I didn't try to copy it too much. And then her skin tone was very easy and everything like that. Her eyes, they looked lovely, and I think it turned out very good. I also colored the white part of the eye, and I was actually doubting if I should actually do that because sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, and most of my drawings I don't. So yeah, adding the white part is kind of weird for me. Like, not the highlight, but like the white part, I don't know, it looks kind of weird because I never actually close the eyes. I just leave them kind of like open, I guess that's how you could say it. But yeah, that's how I did the coloring for this drawing. Okay, yeah, now we're finally into the shading. I don't know why I was talking about the shading before, but we're finally into the shading right now. As I spoiled before, I always use that shade of purple. That shade of purple is my jam, okay? I feel like it looks so good, and every single drawing, that one shade of purple, it just brings out everything, okay? And what I do is I just kind of like outline the areas where I want to put the shading, and then I just fill them in with the bucket. Like, the bucket is my best friend. The bucket saves me like so much time. I use that bucket every day, everywhere, okay? It's the bucket for me. I tried to keep her shading, like a lot of shading, so it looked like more three-dimensional, I guess, even though my style is very much two-dimensional. I think it looked really lovely, and the shading really brought out some of depth inside of my drawing. Although I loved how it looked like with just color and line art, I think it looked really nice just like that. And a part of me wishes I could have kept it just like that, but I always have to like add the shading and everything. So yeah, it's a bit sad, okay? I love how it turned out with just the shading, the color, and the line art. And I wish I could have actually kept it just to there. And I know that there's nobody holding a gunpoint to me, but like I feel like it would have felt unfinished if I just kept it there. So yeah, I didn't keep it onto the shading, and I had to go ahead and do my favorite method, my favorite thing about the whole drawing process, the whole thing. My favorite thing is doing the gradients. So yeah, the gradients are like a really fun part for me because I just chose like a color that is like mostly used in the drawing. In this case, I chose the same purple because I have an obsession with that purple, okay? And I just kind of like put gradients everywhere to do more shading. And then in the eyes, I shaded a bit more so it doesn't look like that two-dimensional and it looks cute and nice. And yeah, I do shade it a lot. And I went with a darker blue for the eyes, which I changed many times. When exporting this drawing, I exported it like 8 times because I did so many like little changes at the end, like changing the eye color, changing the highlight position, changing everything about it. So yeah, it was a bit of chaos, okay? But yeah, we had some gradients in the eyes, we had some gradients, purple gradient everywhere, blue gradient on the eyes, and it looks really lovely. And right now we're going into the highlights. So yeah, the highlights are one of the best parts about doing the drawing. I feel like it brings it to life. But in this case, I'm a bit conflicted because I really loved how it looked without the highlights. I thought it looked so good. I loved it so much. And I think adding the highlights to me, like it brought the drawing to life, but I loved how the drawing looked like before. So it was a bit of a bittersweet feeling to add the highlights, which are usually one of the favorite parts for me to add. So it was a bit weird to add, okay? And as I said, I added highlights literally everywhere, on her hair especially, because in the new movie, as I said, her hair is blonder and a lot lighter, so I really wanted to bring attention to that. So I added a bunch of like little stripes like to like highlight, I guess, as I said, we're on the highlights, like, oh yeah. But yeah, I add the highlights on the eyes, on the clothes. I added a lot, especially. I added on the lips, the tiny little lips that I made. I added everywhere, literally everywhere I can put it, I add some highlights. And I think it looks nice. Although I preferred without the highlights, I think it looks more alive right now, okay? So I added a little heart, which I ended up removing at the end. But yeah, I did a few kind of changes and twitches here and there, and now we are finally into the final result. So this is the final Riley. I think she looks very lovely, and I think her design fits her personality a lot, and it looks really cute. Wanna watch another video? Click over here, and if you want to subscribe, click over here.